46 seconds of logos. Comcast.
There once was a peculiar doctor.
And a narration. How the f*** did Doolittle fit a hippo through the doorways leading to his office? There is nothing on this earth that is worth waiting in a line this long. How many people have incurable pets that a regular vet can't handle? This line would take at least half a day to get through, and you don't even have anywhere to sit, and you might get trampled by elephants. Also, why does Doolittle's place have a hedge maze? I heard about a guy who froze to death in one of those things.
His days belonged to the animals, but his heart belonged to one woman.
Celibacy. Haha, the polar bear's cold, and that's not a feature of polar bears. Haha, but why does a hat make him not cold?
Lily died at sea.
Horrible death that affects our protagonist in a kid's film cliche. Also, how does Doolittle know that the ring means she died? She could have just had second thoughts, right?
Until one morning, a most unlikely creature found its way into Doolittle's life.
We're still doing the narration? I thought you had a good ending with the whole "could anyone save Doolittle's life" bit. Hell would say the squirrel in his natural habitat dropping a nut. He shakes his fist in frustration, as squirrels have evolved to do over the millennia to evoke sympathy. Because why not? Squirrels are people too.
Follow Polly.
Polly, if you wanted him to follow you, then why did you stop at the door? Interrupting a good butterfly orgy. How did Tommy end up in this hedge maze? After he went through the hole in the wall, Doolittle's house was a straight shot through the field. Incomplete mice chess sets. Cheating.
This is a nightmare!
Robert Downey Jr.'s feelings on day one of filming somehow make their way into the movie.
Whatever are you doing up there?
How did Lady Rose know how to get onto the Doolittle property? Tommy needed a parrot to show him the secret passage, and it's kind of crazy that Tommy and Lady Rose just happened to show up at the same time.
Can you tell me if this is the home of John Doolittle?
How did you get inside this place without noticing the front gate that has his name plastered all over it? I think Blake Snyder said it best in the screenwriting book Save the Cat, that you had to make your movie annoying in the first 10 minutes or else it wouldn't sell.
Wait a minute. I have an injured squirrel.
He's probably dead now. He got shot, then you got caught in the net, and there was all that screaming. He's experienced about as much pain and suffering as anyone I've encountered, give or take, and he still has hell to look forward to. Doolittle is remembering probably the worst part of their relationship, when they tried forehead while Alfred Kinsey watched.
I shot him, but it was an accident.
Of course, an accidental firing upon.
You know, he's here with the squirrel wanting you to heal him, so maybe be a little more accepting of the remorse and a little less being an outright asshole? Squirrel PR!
Haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, so the surgical instruments in the room probably aren't sterile at all, and this squirrel will be given a horrible infection from the surgery that will cause him great pain and assured death. Yay, kids movie! Wow, Lady Rose went from "you will not perform surgery on a squirrel when the queen needs you" to "holy shit, he's gonna perform surgery on a squirrel in no time."
Sterilize the scalpels. Do not lick any instruments.
Look, I get these are animals, but if you have to remind your staff not to lick surgical instruments, you need a new staff.
Express emotional vulnerability.
Ah, sudden Simba. Also, I know this is supposed to be cute, but I get major Twilight baby vibes from this lion.
I knew I shouldn't have let monkeys proofread the contract.
I know you have a special affinity for animals, but why would you trust monkeys to read a contract unless it was for a joke in a movie?
Maybe I should stay here. I don't do well in crowds.
If the whole reason Doolittle is going to save the queen is so they can stay on this land, which is a protected reserve, then why would any of the animals be going with him on this trip? Once they leave the reserve, they would no longer be protected, and Polly already mentioned it was hunting season. This reminds me of that in the BFG, End of Sin.
I shall continue to leach, to circulate the vapors in the bloodstream. She'll be lucky to last the week.
Oh good, pointless villains in a kid's movie when villains aren't needed cliche. It's probably the only thing that's going to be worse than when we eventually get to the animals fart in a kid's movie just because cliche. Street smart aquatic life. Also, is this movie basically Sherlock Holmes, the Doolittle years?
A solar eclipse will occur on the 17th of this very month. If she has not received the antidote by then, she will perish.
Wait, does the poison only work when there's a solar eclipse? Or is this some sort of coincidental event, so that you can express the deadline visually without the use of a clock? Also, this eclipse will have to do with by the end of this movie. I know Doolittle has been practicing for a while, but can't he do something about his dog's anal sac issue? He might even have parasites. Fix your dog, bro.
I do so admire how you don't give up.
They have a timetable to save the queen, which requires traveling to a land that Doolittle doesn't even know how to get to, but movie has time for this.
Right? Chop, chop!
I know Tommy's dad and brother don't like him because he's a weirdo who doesn't like to kill animals, but aren't they asking themselves where the f he is right about now? Kid gets woken up in the middle of the night. Emma Thompson is a character? British? Yeah, this is another Harry Potter all right. Maybe even an Annie McPhee.
He's coming to finish the job! He won't rest till I'm dead!
Has word not gotten around yet to the squirrel that Tommy ran to Doolittle's place to save his life? Was that not apparent?
Oh, big hole, 12 o'clock!
How did you not see this even before you got on the bridge? It was obvious the minute you saw that f***er. Also, every bridge in the world is incomplete or damaged cliché.
Fly and be free!
And apparently turned him into an extra from the Polar Express. They're not even trying to hide the fact that he's animated here.
Is that thing up to code?
When I hear anachronisms like this, I wonder why they don't just have the characters use cell phones. This movie has so little going for it that they had to include a scene where before he even gets on the boat, Tommy's bridge elevator runs into trouble. If I were making this movie, I'd already have everybody at the island by now. There's still plenty of time for Doolittle to fight the Karath and improve his worth and reclaim the Trident. Tommy survives this, flipping the bird. If this ship just departed this morning, how do they already have this much laundry to hang out to dry?
As I just told Polly, we are a bit short-handed after all, so...
You won't regret it.
He might. You know, when he gets arrested for kidnapping a minor. Yeah, Doolittle's sign checks out. He doesn't want to interact with humans anymore. But why would he need a sign? He didn't know Tommy would show up.
You will be on the Britannia, making certain Doolittle never returns.
And this is the perfect place for me to inform you of my plans. After all, it's right in front of this painting where Doolittle planted his stick bug spy. I could have taken you practically anywhere to say this, but I figured the room where the Queen is dying is the best place.
What bird stuff can you do?
Well, what bear stuff can you do?
Overbearing. Also, once again, we know that Doolittle can understand all the animals, and we've seen that all of them speak differently. So how can all the animals understand all the animals? Anytime we do a Talking Animals movie, we're going to have this discussion, but god damn it, why won't one of these movies answer the question?
Roar! Pickles? Roar! Oh, you were saying warship!
Wait, what? I know Tommy said he was starting to get the hang of it, but being able to speak full-on polar bear after less than a day is a lot more than getting the hang of it.
This whole thing is a lookout death boat!
I believe you meant Death Ship, Plimpton. And I would give all the sins back if George Kennedy and Richard Crenna showed up right now. Nothing like an obscure 1980 horror film shout-out in a sins video for a 2020 family film. But much like Death Ship, Doolittle is also shitty.
Oh, hello, Blair, you chinless wonder.
Prevengers, Age of Victorion.
I bought a front row seat to Crazy Town!
Such a sexy, pretty little thing. Fierce nipple pierce, you got me sprung with your tongue ring. I'm not even sure a whale pulling a boat to make it go faster is possible, but how many times has Doolittle been chased by bad guys to have a boat-pulling apparatus operated by whales?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, I guess Doolittle is dead. Can we just go ahead and roll credit? Well, shit. Also, how the f*** did you pull that helmet off and throw it while climbing up the ship? How did you even climb up the ship without a rope? The movie is so busy making the audience disappointed that you're alive, it doesn't even realize how impossible all of it is.
Kevin's log, day 7. I'm now totally isolated.
Like most recurring storylines in this movie, the Kevin the Squirrel one is not funny, and they're going overboard to try and make it funny.
When Chichi says, that means, where's my blanket?
How the f*** would you know that after a couple of days on the boat? I mean, how many times is this asshole losing his blanket to say that over and over again?
To have any chance of finding the tree, we have to go to Monteverde and steal that flipping journal.
So the only thing that survived Lily's shipwreck was a journal that tells you exactly where you need to go to find the only magical ingredient that cures the exact poison given to Queen Victoria? Sweet!
His most prized possession was the very journal we needed to steal. So Doolittle needed a disguise.
That is not a disguise. That is a brightly colored and odd-looking costume that would bring Doolittle more attention than if he had just walked in with a standard cap on his head to shield his face. I'm not even sure who would recognize him in the first place. The picture on the wanted poster looks more like Ted Mosby than it does John Doolittle.
But Doolittle still had questionable contacts on the island.
You gotta love how an MCU film can just say, Tony called Hank Pym and he lent him some ants to get away with not casting Michael Douglas. It's kind of like that scene in Endgame when Tony's in his cabin at the lake, and they had that computerized voice system Roger Ebert used to piece together some of Gwyneth Paltrow's dialogue to make it sound like Pepper was there with him.
You come to me for this on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Taking The Godfather in vain.
What's a scorpion got that I don't got? Besides a massive stinger.
Insect dick jokes are the worst dick jokes. It's in the Dick Joke Almanac, which, by the way, is not the largest almanac, but it does provide longer enjoyment than most almanacs.
And most importantly, keep your disguise on.
But why does Tommy need a disguise at all? No one in Monteverde knows who Tommy is.
There's just one little thing you should know. Rasuli loves his cats.
I mean, they're owned by the guy who, in a former life, was Puss in Boots, so when you think of it that way, it makes a ton of sense. Also, Lion King. Okay, fine, Tommy climbed up this thingamajig to avoid the lions, but how did he get up there in the first place without disturbing them?
Hey, oh, watch out. Kitty cat on your 6.
God damn it, how the is any of this stuff behind Tommy? When he first stepped on the bridge, there was just this one empty platform behind him. When James points out the lion, the whole world up here changes. Why would this work? If any asshole can just stick his face in this 19th century eye scanner, then why bother with the security system?
How about this close? Oh,
Yes! Finally, some action down here.
Why does King Rasuli have a rabbit locked up in his jail cell?
Your migraines are brought on by severe maternal issues.
Didn't the tiger in the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle also suffer from migraines? Was this a thing in the Hugh Lofting novels that just keep showing up in the films?
Oh no, it's James.
How long have Polly and James known each other? Don't dragonflies have, like, really short lifespans? And she's been gone for years. How does she know he's annoying?
Oh no! Worse than I expected.
What were you expecting? Because this isn't really all that bad, all things considered. I can buy that Chi-Chi could bend and break those bars, but I'm having a harder time buying that he could fit through that small space. Haha, more like Kong Dol Island, am I right?
You need this more than I do.
A security blanket that's too small to secure anything for either of these animals. And yeah, I know it's not the point, but why not have a blanket that both puts you at ease and is large enough to cover your body while sleeping? I guess the movie skipped the part where Tommy had to run through that room full of lions again. Those assholes are super sleepy.
I have it!
Discount Thomas Ian Nicholas is pissing me the off with this premature celebration. And how did he not see all these soldiers? Is it because we couldn't? God, this movie is so bad, the awesome Michael Sheen actually causes the movie to lose momentum whenever he shows up. You had Michael Sheen movie and you f***ed it up. This makes Tron Legacy look like it was doing something right.
Where are you, Doolittle?
Jesus Christ, man, did you expect him back already?
Irony is when you find a woman and she makes your life more wonderful than it had any right to be. And then poof, she's gone, and it's all your fault.
Scene written by Alanis Morissette.
Rasuli's right.
And conveniently standing right there, so he'll hear this declaration, forgive Doolittle, and probably give them all a ship to sail off in to save the Queen. And God, just everything about this movie and the zero it has for original ideas. Universal should have titled this We Can Do Disney Too.
Your polar bear blew up my village,
We don't know that.
I get the joke, but where the did he get that dynamite? He used the dynamite that he brought earlier, and Doolittle's ship was blown up. Does he have a pouch he can stick more dynamite in? Or has he somehow been carrying this the whole time?
Irony is me wanting to kill you with every fiber of my being, but loving my daughter more.
Wow, 2 Alanis Morissettes in under 2 minutes. If we get 2 more, we can fill the whole car.
All we needed to do was track Mudfly.
But how do we do that?
We're spoiled.
You see, they keep track of all the boats that are sailing through the ocean. It's kind of their thing. Also, if you can ask whales where one particular ship in the entire ocean is, why can't you just ask them where the island is? Surely they've heard some or seen it. Also, you had a special device on your other ship that allowed you to summon whales, but this is another ship with no such thing. So are we just supposed to believe you can summon them without a thing? You need a thing! Also ×3, how are these whales always available when Doolittle needs them? I've been on a whale watching tour. You're lucky if you see 3 or 4. Mind you, I was throwing up deviled eggs and horseradish the whole time, so I could have missed something. But I don't care. I'm sending this whale of a convenience. During this montage, we see Doolittle and Tommy looking at maps and and I'm wondering why, since they're going to be following the all-knowing whales to the island.
Tree Island.
This movie has about 19 minutes left, and they are just now getting to the island. They still have to find the fruit and rush back to save the Queen. I don't know how exciting the Eden Tree Island portion will be, but I do know I was way more interested in this than anything that happened in the Monteverde section of the movie. This kind of feels like the time I was expecting to watch 100 minutes of Jason taking Manhattan, and what I got was 80 minutes of Jason on a boat.
Whoa, a big cave.
Excitement?
Foxfire Focus. We must be near it now.
Oh, somehow this will awaken a dragon. Why is there a dragon? Why does a dragon get summoned this way? Why can't he just wake up for the simple reason that there are a bunch of people making noise in here?
Is he speaking dragon?
The movie has made it pretty clear that Doolittle had to learn how to speak to the animals. It was a gift, sure, but he had to learn everyone's language. In what scenario would he have ever needed to learn the language of a dragon? Did they even know that dragons existed before now?
No. I think we're here to help her.
Oh, this movie seriously comes down to Doolittle performing surgery on a sick dragon. Never mind the oath or whatever. This dragon promised to guard the Eden Tree. As long as he makes her tummy feel better, it's all good.
We haven't got much time.
Correct, you don't. But you're still going to try and heal this dragon's wounds despite having zero clue about dragon anatomy, because this movie is dumb. Also, you mean if they had just waited a day or two, there would have been a dead dragon here and an easily takeable Eden Tree?
When removing the blockage, there may be an initial release of wind.
Good God, man. Couldn't this have been something more interesting? Like Something was wrong with the dragon's inner fireplace? Is this where the studio was like, God damn it, guys, this is a kid's movie. We must have gas. I demand gas. Look, if an undigested set of bagpipes was in this dragon's ass, this island wasn't as big a secret as the movie makes us think.
I've seen armies of every kind, but nothing like you.
Just gonna hammer this home. This place was apparently so hard to find that Lily Doolittle was the only person to ever map its route. But this dragon's innards suggest that hundreds of assholes have made the trip here.
Lily would have loved it, John.
Pretending you know.
Thank you for showing me the way, my love.
True, her journals allow the bad guys to find the island, but it's really the whales that led him to the island, right? I mean, technically, he never got a chance to look at her journal. Totally doesn't happen without that, for sure, but she didn't show you. Oh yeah, the solar eclipse. Remember that? That was totally important. And the sky is super bright for an eclipse, right? Tommy slides a good 5 seconds on this floor as if it's the only thing on Earth that has zero friction.
In his right pocket, the vial.
Why would he need this vial in his right pocket? Queen Victoria was going to die. That means he's been carrying this thing around for days since he poisoned her. F*** you.
I've spoken to ladybugs, making a wish before they fly away.
Yep, that seems like enough evidence to believe that Doolittle can speak to animals. God, this f***ing movie. At least in the Eddie Murphy version, it took actual proof to make other people believe in his gifts.
I have a letter for Dr. Doolittle. Somebody get me down.
Why the f*** did the mail carrier go towards the tree when delivering this letter? There's a nice sidewalk he could have followed all the way to the door. You mean the guy who wrote Traffic in Syriana? The guy who directed... Oh, Gold. Never mind. This guy directed Gold.
Oh, and in case you're wondering...
I wasn't. He fell from a great height. I assumed he was dead, and I was fine with it. Oh, so that's how he became Arrow.
You can't just keep hanging out with these Colobus monkeys. Somebody's gonna get parasites.
All right, you can stop sending us concerned messages that TV Sins stole our idea. TV Sins is in fact our other channel where we sin, you guessed it, TV shows. Search for TV Sins and find one of your favorite shows. Then, enjoy us sinning the shit out of it.
Please go the away.
You should know. She's fallen gravely ill.
Affleck.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I said, I want the knife.
Johnny,
no,
for God's sakes.
There's nothing wrong with him. He just has gas.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
I will you, all right? I will enter you.
Are you sure your head's in the right place, James?
Buddy, I don't know who you are. You're about to get chlamydia.
Hey, Big Bird, you doing okay?
Nah, man. I'm pretty far from okay.
We're finished.
Well, you're a at motivation.
We can keep going.
I got nothing for you, Cap. I got no coordinates, no clues, no strategies, no options.